D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one, and that's how we get the podcast. The podcast.
They're playing our song.
The podcast.
That's our song. Patrick just walked in.
The podcast. The podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast.
Hey, it's here. It's the podcast. Yay! As we were coming to you from the wonderful O'Reilly. Did we just take a selfie?
No.
Okay. You know how like you have the group of people?
The selfie yay.
Group of people and they do the selfie yay. Okay, let's take a picture.
Yay!
The podcast is sponsored by O'Reilly.
Talked about that so long.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Studio. Of course, they do the studio. They do the podcast. We love O'Reilly Auto Parts. It was really their week because they have a 3-leaf clover. They've got a shamrock in their logo. They're so Irish, and it was St. Paddy's Day week. So, of course, go to O'Reilly Auto Parts for better parts, better prices every day. And I think they have shillelaghs there, too. If they don't, they could probably get you one.
Yes, they can.
I got a classic gold for you, Patrick. You ready? This is going to make your head hurt.
Oh.
That was back in the day, Carson, before you were working with us.
That's the whole thing?
Yeah, that's it. Before you were working with us, Patrick he wouldn't be in the studio with us most of the show because he was running all the technical stuff from his office.
I was just lazy, and I like to sit at my desk instead of getting up.
Yeah, you didn't have to get up and come. Yeah, so he would sit in there, and he had like a talk back button.
I still have it.
He still has it.
I don't know if it still even works.
Well, it didn't work back then. Here you go.
Does it work better?
Oh, God,
it
that's
works
the worst.
great.
Oh, it's super loud,
Oh,
isn't it?
so loud.
Yes.
So loud. So jarring.
I kind of like it, actually.
Do you still like it?
I remember we would have guests come in, and he would do that, and they would get
It would
freaked
sound
out.
like the voice of God.
They would be like,
get
where did
scared.
that come from?
They would just be like, what happened? Yeah. But so every once in a while, for some reason, the little talkback button would get dirty. And, any kind of electrical connection gets dirty, you get bad connection. And this is what would happen. He would get so mad. And then he would start
Here you go,
cussing.
son of a...
Did he do it at the end? Hold on. He did. Son. Hey, Patrick, it works now, though.
It does.
Come on back in here.
You sure I can just stay here
You could.
and freak Carson out for the whole podcast?
Well, it's really loud for her because she
so
wears her
loud.
headphones low. To be able to hear it on the microphones, we had to crank up the talkback button to where it
it's so
literally,
outrageously
I think the
loud.
whole building vibrates. Like,
Yeah.
whenever
Oh
you-
my God! I bet you could hear me through the floor up there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
songwriter's
Yeah,
lounge
'cause it's
up
mounted
there.
in the rafters in the ceiling, so I
Turnabout is
bet.
fair play. I get to hear their
Dude,
garbage.
Next time they are playing pool, Red Akins and his buddies or whoever's playing pool right over my head, I'm going to just hit the talkback button and go, I can see you.
You're about to hit the 8-ball into the side pocket.
Carson, do me a favor, and can you lower your lighting on your face?
Oh, I don't know if she knows how. I get her.
It should probably, it's a little bright.
It's a little bright.
Yeah, it was on your face, but not hers. So I didn't.
No, you said on Carson's.
No, I did not set it up on Carson.
Am I washed out?
Yeah, you were watching it. Yeah, it's much better. Thank you. Hey, I'm just trying to watch out for my girl.
I appreciate it.
That's
Yeah,
my
man.
boy.
Nice.
So are we broadcasting
Patrick,
live on
you
YouTube?
look
Yes.
enormous.
I always look
Oh,
enormous.
my gosh.
What?
What?
That wasn't nice.
Oh,
Are you shocked?
Oh, no.
You shocked,
I'm
Carson.
sorry.
I was like, whoa.
Notice I didn't even flinch.
No.
Like, I'm sure I do.
That's what guys do.
I know, it
What
just
are y'all
started
even
with
talking
me.
about? Did we do something that we don't
No,
normally
I
do?
know. I don't know why that was just startling.
Yeah. I'm sure I do look enormous. So, can I ask another technical question and at the risk of ruining the podcast? Are we broadcasting on YouTube but not Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a change, man.
It's
Oh.
a change is going to come. Yes. It's
Everything's got to
time.
live on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
Moving forward, so
Wow.
we can't do both
That's amazing.
because of the software issues. We can,
But
maybe
that will get fixed.
Yeah, we will in the future. We'll be able to fix that, but for now, it's. I was like, well, you know what, man, we got to pick one. We're gonna have to be.
And-
We're gonna have to live on YouTube anyway.
YouTube
Yeah.
Might as well
makes
go
more
ahead.
sense.
It just does.
It does.
I did a podcast with a friend of mine last night, and he was broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I was
Can
like,
you ask him how he do that?
I know how he does it. It's a third-party
okay, yeah,
apps that
I
you
don't.
can do
Yeah, well,
that make that happen.
I'm
but-
more concerned that when I listened back, I didn't realize that my little earbuds, the audio's not great, and I feel so bad because I feel like I ruined everything.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's not awful, but it definitely isn't
Oh,
this
wait.
quality
Ask
that we
Carson
have.
why she was on a podcast yesterday, guys.
Carson, why were you on a podcast? Just I know because you and I talked
We were
about it.
talking.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
But ask
yes.
First of all,
I already
wait.
know
Before
this.
you say, how long was this podcast?
It was over 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
And you
Did they
talked about
talked
one
about
topic the whole time?
We were discussing Alice Cooper's new album.
Look at Big D's face for 90 minutes.
90 minutes of Alice Cooper talk.
Mm-hmm.
New Alice
That's
Cooper
some-
music. It
listen.
wasn't even just spanning his
So-
50-year career.
That's a deep dive.
I was telling Carson it was weird because just a couple days ago I was listening to a playlist, and on the playlist was some Alice Cooper songs, and I didn't know who it was because I listen to all kinds of stuff. I just never listened to Alice Cooper. I heard Poison, and I forget what the other big hit he had. Carson, help me. Yeah, I mean, you talked about it.
I
90
mean,
minutes
I'm
ago.
18, school's out,
I
welcome
think
to my nightmare.
School's out.
Okay.
Feed My
School's
Frankenstein,
out
which they did in Wayne's World. That's
Well,
the
Well,
only
yeah,
reason
he
I know
like
that.
starts naming the random tracks that Spotify played for him, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's off Trash, or oh yeah, that's
Yeah, she knew the albums. So I ended up listening to Alice Cooper on a whim the other day. I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. I'm like, I wonder why I never got into this when I was a kid. And so we talked about it a little bit, and she's like, well, I'm on a podcast today talking about Alice Cooper.
But the thing is, I was on with 3 really big like Alice Cooper super fan guys, and so
Because
I'm
there
like,
are no super fan girls.
I might be the girl with the most Alice Cooper fandom running through her veins, and I'm not saying that I'm not a huge fan, but I'm definitely not what these dudes are. And one of them's like, well, did you hear this riff? It harkens back to 1974, and I'm like, I wasn't alive yet. I don't know what, like, yeah, it
Wow.
was. So I just kind of like
So
sat
somebody
in my corner.
out music nerded you.
Oh God, they all did, all 3 of them. Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if we could. I wonder if we could all get together and try. And I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put us all in. We have to come up with one Alice Cooper song.
Well, Carson just named all the ones I know.
So all right, we'll kind of Brady Bunch this. So Bubba, you start, and then Patrick, then me, and then Carson.
I'm going. People are like, who? I'm going Poison because I mentioned that. That was the
School's
one.
out for summer.
Or just school's out.
Which one?
Is that
She's
the,
just correcting
said
me because I
school's out.
added words to the
is that the
title.
one? School's out. Yeah, we just talked about
They'd
it.
play for school closings.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one.
All aboard!
Nope,
Nope.
that's Ozzy.
Nope.
Nope, not even
Ozzy
close.
did sing backup vocals on an Alice Cooper song, though.
Which one?
I don't remember.
Did they tell you that, or
Yep.
did you know that?
See, I threw the factoid out that I learned yesterday.
Wow.
So yeah.
Are we also not going to talk about the fact that Carson is going to be moonlighting
No.
for Def Leppard?
We really need to
This
mention
is
that?
one of the best stories. So,
is
okay, so
ridiculous.
Carson is. If you've seen these before, you know exactly what we're talking about. These little boxes that you can get from artists. And it's like for the fan clubs, they're like, hey, for $27 a month, we'll send you some swag from Brantley Gilbert or whomever. And you signed up for one for Def Leppard.
Yep. They did a mystery box, and it was limited to 250 boxes, and I plunked down my $175.
$175.
They claimed there would be at least $250 worth of merchandise in it, and they also billed it under the idea that they were cleaning out the vault. Which vault? Oh, it's cute. It's play on words because it's the name of their greatest hits album, and they're going to get you like older stuff. And here's me going like, ooh, vintage. Maybe I'll get a cool T-shirt. And the pictures started popping up on Facebook of people who had got them and were really disappointed. Well, I get mine, and it was supposed to have.
Did you all get the same stuff?
No. Everybody kind of got different T-shirts. Some people got hats. Some people got water bottles. There were a bunch of backstage passes, which were from old tours, not like you can use them. And everybody got this backpack that they put up. Well, I opened my box, and all I had was the backpack. That's it. I didn't get anything else in there, so I got a $175 backpack. And because I am an uptight person from Connecticut, I am not nice. So I fire off an email in my anger and my disappointment, and it is just, I mean, pulling no punches. And the guy replies back and asks me, well, did you check the pockets? Yes. And here's the pictures that I'm not nice.
Wait, check the pockets
Of the backpack, like it would have been in
items?
there. Yeah. And I'm like, not in there. And so I attach photos that it's not there. And he says back, like, well, we had somebody else who thought they didn't get their stuff, but it was in the pockets. I'm like, as I stated in my previous email, like I went full on Karen. And so he then, a few hours later, reaches out, is this your phone number? Can I call you? I was like, okay, which is awkward because now I've been mean to you and I've been complaining about it in a forum.
And now you have to talk to them.
Now we have to talk. And he gets on the phone and immediately says, this has been a disaster. I am so sorry. We are refunding you all your money. And I was like, well, do you need me to send you the backpack? Nope, you keep it. I've been on the phone with the warehouse. And he starts going into, of all people to mess this up for, because he had looked at my profile on Facebook, and I guess because I was very vocal on social media about what happened, he also looked at Instagram and Twitter, and the signature of my email might have mentioned Big D and Bubba. And I was like, check out their
Oh my
website.
God!
Use
If
what
this
you got.
lady complains, 17 whole people will know that we messed this up.
Look, man, all the 17 were going to know about it. So then we get to talking, and it all flipped around, and he asked me to start consulting on their merchandise.
That's right. He offered her a job.
Well, I don't know that's a job as
It's
much
a
as
job.
it could be volunteerish, and I'm hoping
She's
that I
doing
get
it
paid
to-
at least in merchandise.
Yes, get paid in merchandise and backstage passes. Can I make a video comment while we're doing this? Can we use the camera that's behind me as sparingly as possible?
Why?
Because it's
Hold on,
just
Big D,
one
please switch to
big
that. I wanna see.
shot of back fat.
Can I
That's
see
all
it?
it is.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Is just terrible.
Did you pull it up? I want to see.
Yeah,
No.
I see that.
I'm
God.
trying right now.
So
Hold on. It's
bad.
Yeah, I can see that. Let me see. Can you get a little-
I want to see the back.
I'm like super conscious of how I'm sitting now because I don't want to have.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like Dora the Explorer. Back
Oh.
fat, back fat.
Yeah, there you
Yeah. Oh, and then I usually sit like this. So when I'm hunched down, it's just nothing but a big old. I'm just exploding out the back end. It's just terrible.
I
don't
am.
want that.
I'm waiting.
I'm a little worried. By the way, yes, it does look like
there's
a
my
can of
side view, too.
biscuits.
Yeah, we
and-
don't. We don't need. No one needs
This is
that.
a disaster.
I'll move it to behind me.
Can we
move
get
behind
cardboard
me if you want.
cutouts of ourselves?
Yeah. Just. Can I get a cardboard cutout of Brad Pitt?
Yeah,
And just have it be where
Can you
I'm
guys
sitting.
get Carrie Underwood sitting here?
Oh my gosh, are you gonna move it?
He's gonna move it.
Oh, that's the best.
mid-podcast.
All right, I want to see your face right in the.
This is amazing.
Get your face on. Oh, he's moving it. Oh, here we go. Where's it gonna go?
Where's it gonna go?
Oh, I love this. Where are you gonna put it?
I don't know. This is great.
Put yeah, I don't have a shot of.
For those of you who are just listening to this, just think of the fattest person you know, and then think of them, kind of hunched over and exploding out of their shirt.
Well, now you get a light. There's that light right in the front.
And then
of it.
imagine because there's 4 cameras on them.
That's right. Well, the camera adds 10 pounds.
How many cameras are actually on you?
Exactly.
Man, I don't
Thank
know.
you, Chandler.
We're good at this.
Yeah.
Super good.
This is super good.
Riveting. Oh, I love this.
I like it.
Like that.
Are you happy now,
Oh, yeah.
Patrick?
Much.
Is
Very.
it better?
Yes.
How does my backside look?
Oh, that's right now. Poor
I didn't think
Bubba's
of
in
it.
the
Oh,
line of
actually,
fire.
no.
Actually, he's
I'm
not.
looking. It's probably going to be waist down, or waist up, so I should be okay.
And black T-shirt is good too.
Yeah. God, of course, I wore a smallish T-shirt.
I'm
By
wearing a-
smallish, I mean it's a XXX that just shrunk a little. I don't mean it's actually a small, but it's a little small on me.
Smallish.
It does say
It's a better
meh.
shot anyway, honestly.
yeah.
I'm in a white jacket. Boy, there's nothing more flattering to a girl than white. Oh, lesson learned. Gotta start dressing. I actually wore makeup for the podcast today.
Yeah, it's actually it's a nice shot. I mean, you kind of get a little bit of the Starship Enterprise feel, just a little bit. Not the full-on Starship, but
Oh, that looks good. That looks good. What are you guys doing for the upcoming weekend?
I am going to Alabama, to Gulf Shores to visit with my father-in-law, and we're going to be there doing.
He's got a place like on the water.
Yeah,
or
that's
something
where
like
he
that?
retired to. So
Okay.
he's on a
Nice.
golf course, and life is good. So we're gonna
Dale,
go.
what's his name?
Gerald.
Gerald. Yeah.
So we're gonna go and hang out at his place and just kind of visit. We haven't been able to visit, obviously because of the Rona year. We haven't been able to visit much. I think we've been there twice in the past year, which we used to go, once a month back in the day.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice.
What are you
Looking
doing,
forward to it.
Nothing.
Dude, your daughter. So Patrick's daughter is on spring break, and she has been here. Poor girl. She has been here at the studio.
Worst, right?
Yeah, and she's been
She
coloring.
loves it. Really? Oh my God! I
does
give
she?
her the
Good.
choice between coming to work with me or staying home. Vivica works from home. So
She
can
and
stay
I-
home.
She and I have been, every time I go out to get coffee, I have conversations with her. And so she has drawn me a kitty cat picture
Aw.
because I drew her, while waiting on my coffee to brew, I drew her a dog. And she goes, you drew a dog and I'll draw you a kitty cat.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
really great.
Yeah, so
That's actually pretty good.
No, I
Yeah.
think tomorrow we're
she's
gonna
got
go
the cat eyes right.
Yeah.
do some kind of activity. I don't know. I was like, oh, you want to go zip lining? There's a new place we can go. It's not that far. You go zip line, and she's like, no. I'm like, okay. How about? I'm like, you're really skinny. It doesn't take much to hold you up. Like, this is gonna be okay. I'm not gonna do it because there's a weight limit, and I am like 75 pounds
Dude,
over it.
I would love to watch you on a zip line when you first
oh,
leap off the
man.
platform
Oh, yeah.
and everybody's
Yeah,
like,
and the whole tree. So I get on the zip line, and the tree that's holding up one side of it just starts to bend.
oh, you're going to do a tree, not like
Have you
a
seen
phone
the
pole?
video?
Yeah.
There's a video of a guy that tried to zip line that's starting to
seen
go
that.
viral. You do would see
Was he
it's
too
all
fat?
over
Was he
red.
too fat?
He's
Yeah, he's too
scraping the
fat.
ground.
Oh God!
Oh, man.
Yeah, no. Like, I love when I look up my wife. She has no idea what she got into, and she's like, "Oh, we should do such and such." I'm like, "Weight limit, too fat." Like,
I remember
So much.
we were in Gatlinburg, and they had just opened up this indoor skydiving place. And man, I was so
Oh,
pumped.
yeah. If you
Got
don't know what that is,
kids-
it's like a giant fan that just blows air that lifts you off the ground.
Yeah, so you get in and you get like one of their little flight suits on and a helmet, and the boys are pretty small at the time, and they kind of run you through a little a little video or whatnot. You watch it,
Yeah.
and then I look and I see there's a scale, and I've learned that anytime you go into a business and there's a scale, I'm not going to be able to do
There better
whatever
be
this
whatever it is
business
they say.
Not
does.
for me.
There better be a doctor connected to that scale, giving you a physical.
And so they go, all right, they weigh the boys and Kat, and I was like, I'm just gonna take pictures. I'm just a picture guy. I'm just a picture guy. I know.
Things out of the Zorb, the big ball where you squeeze into the ball and then you roll down the hill. Too
I've
fat for
never
that.
done that.
Yep. You know what? I bet you're over the weight limit now. Just saying. I think. Oh,
I should have done it back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh.
My favorite is the roller coaster when you wait in the line at the amusement park and you get to the front of the roller coaster and there's not really a weight limit posted, but then when you try to get in and you're so fat that they can't get the bar down over your fatness.
Oh yeah, man.
So then you have to get out and walk back past all the people in line.
It's the worst.
walk of shame. I remember a few years ago when I was able to fit in it for the first time, and I'll never forget that guy pushing that bar down on my gut, and it wouldn't go, and give it an extra push, and he pushed it in, and it locked. And he goes, "Do you feel secure?" I was like, "Listen, buddy, you could have a rope and a bucket of WD-40. You couldn't get me out of this subject right now. This is happening,
Dude, I
okay?"
get the same thing on the fire truck because, like, we'll get in there. We have to put our gear on while buckled in. So you're trying to get dressed, moving at 50 miles an hour while buckled in, strapped to all this stuff, and man, it's the worst. And so, like, you need to have enough room to be able to get in. You put your jacket on, your coat and everything as you're going to the fire. And I can't do it. So it's
Too fat to ride roller
It's
coasters. Too fat to get dressed in a
embarrassing.
fire truck. Yep. Too fat to zip line.
Are you guys? So we're of course, weekend's going to be the NCAA tournament that everyone is talking about, and
I'm feeling pretty good.
are you?
Yeah, I am. For the first time, do I feel like this every year?
God.
And Patrick would know how
And
I
Bubba
feel.
usually finishes dead last. Like,
I'm trying to see what's.
he's got this weird system where he thinks that if
Well, I've done it all. I've done I've gone by colors.
Okay,
I've
yeah, you
gone
keep
by
saying that, but
my
here's Bubba's
favorites.
real
I've gone
system.
by mascots. Which mascot could eat the other mascot?
okay, here's-
I've gone reverse mascot.
Stop.
Here's Bubba's real system, whether he realizes it or not. Pick a bracket that literally no one else will have.
Yeah.
And on the off chance
That's
that
how you win.
some crap really goes down, you win. The way to win is to pick a likely champion that no one else picks, especially in a small, like we're doing one with a bunch of people, but like we're doing another one with our syndication partner, Compass Media Networks, and they have like 30, 40 people that are doing it so far.
So
I'm
you're
like,
saying pick a likely champion. I'm
pick a
thinking
likely
anybody makes
champion.
it to the dance,
Pick
they're
a-
a likely champion.
Pick a plausible champion that no one else has. So if you have Gonzaga and they win and 9 other people have Gonzaga winning, you have to be perfect. To be 9, if you're doing it with 100 people, you're going to have 25 people pick Gonzaga, 25 people are going to pick Michigan, 25 people are going to pick Illinois, 25 people are going to pick Baylor. Those are your common champions. If you pick Arkansas, number 3 seed, to win the whole thing, you're probably going to be the only one who picks them. And if they do, you can't be beat. So first round, second round don't matter as much as Final Four. So, but if you don't get the champion right, it's almost impossible to win in a bracket. Everyone worries about the first and second round. I got 15 of my Sweet 16 picks. Good for you. If your champion isn't right, you're still not going to win.
No.
Yeah.
My champion's going to be right. It's a
Just
team
saying.
I've heard of.
It's a team you've heard of.
Hey,
Hey,
that's a-
listen, every year there's a couple in there, and I'm like, say, where
yeah,
is that?
yeah. I forget which ones. I don't have my bracket open in front of me, but I forget which ones. I was like, who is this? I had to ask you. Remember, I said, who is this one and this one? And he goes, that's the play-in. I went, oh, that's how well I know what's going on.
It was mushed together like it was one school. And
like,
he was like, what is USC Whisk? What is that? I'm like, that's either USC or Wisconsin. Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
I didn't know, man. That's not my thing. I'm not a basketball player. I know you're shocked that the 5'9" on a good day dude who weighs 300 pounds is not a basketball player, but I'm not.
Back in the day, man, it was I was really into it. Back in the Georgetown.
D used to be a baller too. D
yeah.
can play ball. Don't let him fool you.
Dude,
He may
it's
be
so
walking around
freaky.
going, "Oh, my knee hurts" or whatever, but
Dude,
get him on a
D could-
court.
We played full court one-on-one one day. D, no offense.
This
we
is
were-
when you were thin.
I
never
wasn't thin.
thin.
I
Never-
was no.
neither one of us ever
We
thin.
were not in great shape. This was like more than 10 years ago, but we were both in a fat phase, trying to get less fat. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's a good way to say it.
we had done cardio and lifted weights with a trainer we were seeing, and then at the end we're like, oh, we'll play a little ball. And he's like, play full court like men, and we were like, oh, okay. We're exhausted.
Well, that's the trainer just trying to make
Right,
you run
yeah.
more.
You're right.
D did not bother to run, jog, anything. He would just slowly walk across
Because
the
he
court.
knew you couldn't
at
make
full-
the
'cause
shot?
I couldn't make the dang shot. I'd get 6 shots in the time it took him. Son of a bitch. I'm chasing my ball around, catching my own rebound before he finally gets there. Luckily gets the rebound to come right to him and then slowly walks back across the court. Swish. And this went on for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to him about his big monkey arms when we play racquetball. Oh my god!
BB, what's your wingspan?
I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's
Insane.
a really long, really
Like
wide.
fingertip to fingertip. Have you ever seen? Just stand up and do
No,
it if you don't.
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on,
I
man.
refuse to do that.
Dude, you can do it with a good angle. You could face the camera.
That's
Isn't your
only good.
wingspan as long as you
As
are
you
tall? Yeah.
Yeah, but his is a little bit long.
6'3".
Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I mean,
Freaky.
it's.
Put a racket
crazy.
in his hand, and then he can't. And just seriously,
Dude, you look like an
Just a minute.
albatross. He
Oh
pulls
my
his arms out. I'm
gosh.
like,
I was racing and
See, I don't
hustling my
think-
butt off.
my
just to
wingspan
keep
is
up.
not as long as I'm tall, right?
It should be.
It should be.
Well, you know what? Let's get take measure and
Isn't it
we'll
like
find out.
Da Vinci's
Oh,
whole
no.
drawing man?
Yeah, but I'm
Thing?
not the Vitruvian male. I don't know if you've seen me, but
you're
I'm not that dude. That's what it's called, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Patrick, Vitruvian male, is that right?
I have no idea.
I think that's right.
Well, sounds right.
It does sound right.
I think I sound much smarter when I say the right thing, and I'm going to make sure.
Yes, yes.
Vitruvian male. Yeah, Vitruvian man.
There you go.
Sorry, I said male.
Take
I
measure is a
gendered
weird
it.
thing. I can't ever remember where I put it.
Oh.
So we're not going to do that.
Okay.
I'm just going to assume.
Just going to assume that we're right.
But I used to get. One time we were at LSU campus and
Oh, you're going to tell this story? I guess enough time has passed.
And
Just don't drop names because you don't know them. Because we played this game recently.
and I always, when I was growing up, I had a little what am I trying to say? Basketball goal.
Like
no
a Nerf
net.
Like the hoop?
No, like a regular one. It was attached to our metal shed. We lived out in the country, and it just dirt. And so I just learned to dribble by my, just playing. It was just me, and learning to dribble on different surfaces and rocks and dirts and all that kind of stuff. And I would shoot and do it. I would just go, oh no. And then when I moved to, we moved to Oklahoma City for about 5 years, and I would walk down, and there was a street court, and everybody would come in and play ball, and I would walk up, and they would never pick me to play. I was always picked last. I was tall, but I was just this fat kid. But I could move really well, and I could shoot really well, and understood movement just from wrestling. It helped too, just understanding leverage and stuff. Anyway, so I played, and then I was picked first the second game, and from then on out. And so I always loved the game, and I got to be really good at it. And then
I also think the gigantic wingspan helped because he didn't have to move as much. He covered more room and more space defensively than somebody who moved twice as much.
So we're on campus, and we're going to the gym, and there's 2 All-Americans that are women's basketball players.
That year, the LSU women's basketball team went to the Elite 8, so they were that caliber
that
player.
Crew was really good. So we're in there, and they were kind of practicing, and I said, hey, one of us said, play some 2-on-2, 2 of us against you guys. And of course
They laughed.
Of course they did. They laughed.
Because they looked at us. I was thin back then, though, so I looked athletic.
Man, we tore that up.
Yeah, we played to 21 in front of their coach. Sue Gunter was their coach at the time, and we played to 21. And I think the score was 21-7.
He would, Bubba
And
would
for
take
the
the
record,
top.
Bubba probably got no points.
No, actually, I was
shovel. He was rolling
insanely. I was on
He's on
fire.
fire, man.
I don't think I missed
Dialed
a shot I
in.
took.
And he'd throw it down to me and down in the paint. And sometimes I throw it back and let him throw one up. Or then I would just muscle my way in and just put it in.
Both of those players ended up playing, if I'm not mistaken, in the WNBA.
Yeah.
And 21-7.
They don't talk about this story. We're the only ones that tell the story.
And the funny thing is that we taped it. We taped
We were
it
gonna use it.
because we were going to use it as a bit on the air. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're taking them on just to get people hyped up about March Madness or whatever. And we beat them so bad.
Nope.
We edited. If you don't, if you
Yeah,
remember,
no, we made it look like
edited
we
the whole
lost.
thing and made it completely like we lost.
Yep.
But we
Gentlemen.
destroyed.
Gentleman code.
Yes.
So speaking.
It was bad. It was really bad. I was embarrassed for us.
Patrick one time told me he goes, yeah, I'm pretty good at. He goes, I used to teach
Racquetball?
people how to play racquetball.
I did.
I used to
Until
teach it, and I was like, really? I've never played it.
Yeah, he acted like he'd never played. He gets in there and just destroyed me, and I was just broken. I'm like,
Patrick was the coach.
I don't know how. And by the way, I wasn't like coaching people. We taught people the rules. Like we had a thing at the LSU Rec where on Tuesdays we would teach people who didn't know how to play racquetball, and we had like 3 teams where we would teach you the rules, how to play. Literally how, not how to be good at it. But yeah, we played.
I know you didn't teach that.
No, but we played all the time.
Those who
I played
can do.
racquetball back then 3-4 days a week. And that was long enough ago that I was much thinner than this. And I could get around the court. And oh my goodness, he embarrassed me. The next day, we're talking about it in the kitchen, the 3 of us, and about how embarrassing it is. And Scott, who worked with us, goes, D, didn't you used to play racquetball like 3-4 days a week? I was like, you big jerk. He acted like he'd never done it before.
Yeah, I used to play all the time. When I lived in Billings, I would just go play for hours and hours. Me and my buds, we'd all just play. I probably played. I never played before then. You don't play racquetball in Cookeville, Tennessee, very much. Growing up,
We had a racquetball court at my church. So we would go play. We had like one of those little. It was the Baptist church with the rec centers attached to it.
Yeah, man.
The Family Life Center.
Family
Wow.
Life Center.
I remember that.
What?
So it was a Family Life Center, and it had a 8-lane bowling alley. It had a
What?
Yeah. It had a basketball court. It had it had 2 racquetball courts side by side, a weight room, and something else. I forget what it was. And we would go there because, man, it was like belonging to the Y. You know, for us, it was free. It was for Jesus.
Yeah.
So we would go there.
You tithed your way into
Yeah,
that.
we would play racquetball. I probably played 2 to 3 times a week for about a year.
Yeah, you get pretty good at it,
Yeah.
man. After a while. It's a fun game.
And then I tried to play again about 15 years ago, and I was bad. I'm like, man, you just get out of practice and you just forget.
Did you guys ever get into tennis?
I tried.
Yeah, I did too.
I couldn't.
It wasn't the same.
I actually think I was better at tennis with the volleying,
Yeah.
but I couldn't serve to save my life.
Me either.
And you would think that I would, because I like to do things really hard. Like if I'm going to do something, I'm going all the way.
Yeah.
I'm really good at breaking stuff. So you would think somebody like me would smash a serve.
Yeah.
I would launch it to Mars.
It's
It would
the
go
nuance of
into
it.
the net. It's just like my golf game. I could hit the crap out of a ball, but you had no idea where it was going to go.
Well,
None.
I had a radio job that was like an hour and a half from where I lived, and so and my parents happened to live in that town, so I would stay with them during the week, and I would come home on weekends, and because it was mornings, I got out at like noon or something, and so my dad and I would go play tennis every afternoon, and it was a lot of fun until it was like other tennis people showed up. And because like we weren't great, I mean we were okay, and we had fun and whatever. And then the serious guys would walk in, and they've got their gear, and they've got the glasses, their sunglasses that have the band around the back, like they're Guy Fieri, and they're like, "Whoo, smash!" And I'm like, "Sir, this
They're
is
making
a
the
public."
noises?
Yes, it's like we don't even pay for this. There's a duck pond, right there. Come on, and that's when I would we'd see the people show up, and we'd be like, "Well, time to go.
Yeah.
We're done."
Yeah. Yeah, we had Bubba, talking about the church, we had a new building, and it was kind of like a warehouse-looking kind of building, like a metal structure building. And they wanted a multi-use facility. So they put this carpet that was it was also used for like a basketball court. So the carpet was real thin, but you could bounce like a ball on it.
Yeah.
And it had lines on it that were painted on. And we had a basketball goal that was lifted up.
On carpet.
On carpet. So when we had services, like on Sunday and Wednesday and Sunday night, the goal would be pulled up and they put chairs out on the court, quote unquote. And after that, they would take the chairs out and then drop the thing. And then you could play basketball in this sanctuary, basically.
Yeah.
It was everything. And there was a kitchen that was right off of it. I mean, it was
We
like
had
a
a
giant room for everything in the church.
That's what I was. Remember, I said there was something else at ours at the Family Life Center. We had an area with ping pong tables, foosball, and pool tables.
And what ball?
Foosball. What do you call it?
Foosball?
Oh, I don't know,
foos.
dude. Look, first of all, I couldn't play that either. I'm the spin the thing as fast as it goes guy and hope that it goes somewhere.
Foosball is terrible. It's the worst.
It's so weird listening to people who went that you worshipped in modern churches, because my church is over 300 years old, and so we had it predated America,
Yeah.
and so we didn't have any sort of facilities like that, and we were lucky we had.
Yeah, but you had James Vanderbeek.
Okay, let's calm down there.
did.
But
Yes, you
have
did.
Mox
You know.
the Fox.
but I
mean-
go, because any sort of church things we want to do like that always had to be at the rec center that was like a mile away. And we had to make sure that you had the time, because it was this old meeting house, and the pews. I mean, these were wooden pews from the 1600s. You couldn't, nobody could take them out to move them for basketball.
I don't want your
No,
life.
we're done. Okay, this has been fun, guys.
Man, Carson hates James Vanderbeek.
I don't want your life.
Oh, but he is a good-looking guy, though.
Oh my, what?
I mean, just look at him.
Stop
I mean,
it.
wasn't-
First off, his younger brother's better looking.
Ooh, really?
Is his younger
Dang.
brother into acting?
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't like kept up with him,
Wow.
but no, James got that weird long face and the big forehead, which I understand if you're looking at me on the camera right now, I've got one too, but his is bigger than mine.
Now, wait a minute. You're judging him on his forehead, yet you have the biggest, and ever since I've known you, you've had the biggest crush on Peyton Manning. Arguably the most famous forehead
sure,
ever.
because he seems like a delightful human being who I would not have hated if I had grown up with him.
Well,
And continued to be successful well past his teenage years. Oh, I said that.
Golly. You did Diplo a couple years ago. He was that Diplo dude.
Sure. How many people watch that? Nobody.
I saw 2 episodes.
Look, all right, that's Bubba.
Well, I was trying to kind of get to know the show because I thought that Patrick was going to book him. I really did. After all that James
Dude,
Vanderbeek
I
stuff went
tried.
down,
No,
I know
no.
you did. And I was like, I was really kind of on a mission that we're going to get James Vanderbeek on. So I was watching the Diplo show and I'm like, this is going to work out so great because we're going to have him on. I'm actually going to be able to talk to him about his current project and it'll be awesome. It didn't work.
I don't want your life.
Except that he's here right now.
ladies and gentlemen, James Vanderbeek.
That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna set. It's gonna be a long setup.
That's
We're
the
not
only
gonna,
way. We
bring
have
you
to
in the
ambush her.
studio.
Long game.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna bring you in the studio and then do it right away because you'll know. You'll pick up on it. No.
So
it'll be-
also you need to, whenever you do book that, you're going to have to be on a separate email thing because normally you and
yeah.
Carson work together on booking
dude,
guests and
what
all
am
that.
What am I, an amateur?
Okay,
I'm not
just
gonna-
making sure.
Come on.
Carson's face is so great right now. She's like this. It's like she just bit a lemon.
I accidentally let it slip one day that James and I have a friend in common. And Patrick was like, I'm getting on your Facebook and I'm going to
man.
find out who it is.
Oh
And I was like,
man, I try. Oh.
trust me, I left no breadcrumbs on that trail. I got a little dustbuster behind me.
Every time he does anything, I can't start
Every
contacting
time?
Publicist, everybody,
Every time.
every
Yes, both
I mean,
times.
it's been 3 years now since we found this out.
That's
4
what she meant. That was her
times.
joke.
Wow. Dang. Freaking brutal.
Yet you're going to do a podcast for 90 minutes on Alice Cooper.
Look, man, I didn't say which one of us was the most successful in their life's endeavors. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He adopted a dog, I think. So kudos to him. It's the nicest thing I can say. You got a dog.
Good for him.
Who's the most famous person that you knew as a kid? Like anybody become?
There was a kid from my high school who was, I think, a couple years older, but he was on The Biggest Loser.
I mean, you know.
He was a
Is that
contestant.
where we're at?
That's
he
where
was-
we are.
He was, dude. So
That's
you ever
lying.
go to your high school?
Well, then I got
okay.
a bunch of people I can live.
So wait,
If that's where we're starting at.
you ever go to like your high school's Wikipedia page and all that? So
Oh my gosh.
if you
no.
go to your high
That
school's
is-
Wikipedia
Oh,
page,
yeah.
watch
Your
this.
high
I'm gonna
school
do it.
has a Wikipedia page?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
and it'll say notable people and all that kind of stuff, and you can
Oh.
see the people that went to your school. Like on ours, oddly enough, they don't have the notable person who ended up becoming a mass murderer and
But they don't
a
have
rapist
you?
and
Like
all
you
that.
don't think you're notable?
Apparently not. Notable alumni. Nope. I got somebody who was a state representative. No, I'm on my high school, and there it is.
Look at you.
You are?
Then also
That's amazing.
Dana Chipman, West Point grad and Judge Advocate General of the Army. Juwan Dawson played for the Colts, the Texans, the
my
Browns.
God.
And here's Brady and his wife. They were on The Biggest Loser.
Listen to this. Listen to this. New Iberia Senior High School is a high school in New Iberia, Louisiana. That's literally all it says.
That's your
That's a
whole-
list of the athletic programs,
All
but
right.
nothing else. It serves New Iberia and Avery Island. That's it. That's nothing. That's
That's sad. You need to get
Sad.
with their tourism people. I'm looking now on my hometown of beautiful Houma, Louisiana, Houma. Check it out.
oh.
I want to see if
people?
I
Did you
am.
make the notable people
I did
list?
not make the notable people list.
Dang.
No,
Well,
I'm not. I'm good enough for the high school, but not for the town.
I did that once. I looked at my hometown and looked for the notable people, and Vanderbeek was on there, and Brian Leach, arguably the greatest American-born defenseman to ever play in the NHL. And then there's some dude Yeah, that's about all I know.
And she spouted that off like she
said it a
Man,
1,000
yeah.
times.
Because I followed
Mumbling.
Brian Leach's career from when he was in the Olympics and the captain of the team and the whole thing and Rangers but then there's some dude who's got a Wikipedia page listed who claims to be an executive producer on TV shows, and it's so blatantly obvious when you click on his page that he wrote his page. Because he's not somebody. He's a dude who posted a wiki for himself and somehow slid through the cracks and got posted.
I'm looking at Cookeville, Tennessee. Big D's pride and joy. This is, everybody knows Big D. This is his hometown.
That's right.
Mac Brown, former head coach, is there. Rich Froning Jr., the CrossFit Games 4-time champion.
Yep.
Actually, really 8-time because he was 4-time individual and 4-time team. Jake Hoot, winner of the 17th season of The Voice.
Jake's a good guy.
Then you go to Elmo Stoll.
Okay.
He is a former Old Order Amish bishop.
Oh, I got beat by that.
Yeah, you got beat by
All right.
Elmo.
right.
And you have Lonnie Warwick. He played for the Vikings. You have
No.
no. Oh wait, Robert Ben Garrett. He was deputy junior on Reno 911.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
And okay.
All right.
That's what we got.
That's what we.
Which one was your high school, Big D? I'm going to go look. This is great. I love this. And everybody should play at home and do your own high school.
The only one there. Cookeville High School.
Okay.
In my hometown, I went to high school with Mark Roman, who played in the NFL, and Shane Yeoman, who graduated with me, played baseball at LSU and won a national championship. And I think they named the baseball field after him.
I have
and
bad news.
I don't think he ever made it to the majors. If he
I'm
did,
looking at
but he was great in high school. He was the best pitcher I ever saw.
Patrick, we need to fix this. We need someone because anybody can edit a Wikipedia page. We need someone to go and add Big D to the notable alumni from Cookeville High School. That way we could both.
Do they
be
have
on
a
our...
notable alumni page on the Cookeville High School?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Robin Clark, an early 1960s pop singer, known as Lo Hershiser while attending school, was a notable alumni. You got Mac Brown, like we said, Watson Brown, also Predrag Dravanovic. I don't know who that is. He was a basketball player in the 90s, and Rich Froning Jr., the CrossFit stallion dude. But no Big D.
I want to edit that in.
Yeah. Can we get that guy who edited his own page to go and do Big D's? Oh,
that's right. I forgot Chris Berman is from Cheshire.
Oh, well, that's kind of
really?
cool.
He would live down the street, but I forgot about that. But
Is he in the notable?
Yeah, that's why I was looking at.
Literally, the only people from my town that are supposedly famous are people who played football. That's it. Corey Raymond, who's the defensive backs coach at LSU, played for the Giants. He's from New Iberia. We're not
NFL.
We have J.P. Morgan.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I didn't know that.
J.P. Morgan?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. It says J.P. Morgan businessman.
Wow.
And then Ron Palillo, actor.
What did Ron? Wait, Ron Palillo was the guy.
He was
from
Horseshack on
with
Welcome.
the nose.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Carter. He also dated my mother. She loves it when I tell that story.
Oh,
Your mom dated Horseshack.
They met in college because she wasn't
my
from
gosh.
Cheshire. And she loved theater, and she saw him in a production of The Glass Menagerie. And so she waited for him after the show to talk to him, and they went to the movies. They went to see Cool Hand Luke. And every time I tell this story, she loves it that I bring it up. I told it one day on the radio in the town where she lived, and she went to work that day, and people are like, "You dated Horseshack?" And she goes, "What did my daughter say this morning?" She was so irritated.
Well, I'm looking at.
Also, he died, so that's sad.
Oh, really?
He smoked like a chimney.
He looks like an older Ralph Macchio. Like I'm looking at him, like he would be like Ralph Macchio's dad or like silly older brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she said he was a good actor.
Sounds like a great place to end a podcast.
Wow, that is
Don't you think?
got kind of sad.
Patrick, can you please close it out from the other room?
Do I have to?
On your Yeah, it works
go walk?
nowadays.
Yeah, but it's just going to freak Carson out and scare the people upstairs.
It's fine.
Well, they deserve it.
Yep.
We hear them all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the
man.
time.
I had to go back to my roots.
Yeah, back to home
All the time. And we're going to do the whole podcast one time like that, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to be talking like Mama.
I'm making
Man, why you talk like that?
I don't know.
Man, you're going to go. They love my Cajun accent.
No, it's so bad.
Man, we're going to go make groceries.
No, you don't make the groceries?
You make. What do you make?
You make groceries.
You make
No,
groceries.
we don't
He's just
make-
talking like everybody else.
You gonna get in? You want to step down? What is it?
Get down.
Get down.
You gotta get down?
Well,
Get
the
down.
reason, okay, so if you don't know, Louisiana people say get down. When you say, are you getting out of the car? They don't say you're getting out. They say, are you getting down? And like people not from Louisiana go, you want me to dance?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Am I getting down? What it was is back in the old days, whenever they translated or they shifted from speaking French to speaking English, the words that they would use for getting out of the car were basically the words for getting out of a carriage. Well, if you got out of a horse-drawn carriage, you didn't just get out, you got down out of the carriage. So it's actually, the translation is
It's
way
because
back.
Cajun is an old
Yeah,
form of
it's
French.
old French from like the 1500s.
Yeah, 300 plus years old.
So
we
that's
haven't-
why they say you
It's
get
fun
down.
to listen to old Cajun people talk to each other, and the words that they don't have words for in French, like computer or Coca-Cola or whatever,
Envie.
and they just, that's a French word.
Oh.
And then they just slip them in. They'd just be going to town, and all of a sudden you'd hear Coca-Cola. And I go, oh, I know that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, son of a.
I don't want your life.
This was the podcast, but now it's over. But that's okay, because you can listen to the regular show on the radio every day.
That is very loud.
It is last